Hi everyone. You good?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Nic Brunsdon, this is Emma Creer, presenting This Is Air, the NGV Commission for 2023-24. I just want to pay my respects to the Wurundjeri people and on the lands that have never been ceded, and my respects to their ongoing connection to country and culture. This is Air, part of the NGV Architectural Commission series. Very important to note that it is termed a commission, not a pavilion, and that's the way we responded to this, typology free, and an ability to actually use architecture to comment on some broader themes and thoughts. So our working quote, or the thing that we found that we thought summed this up, was this one, which is: there are two young fish swimming along, and they happen to meet an older fish swimming the other way, who nods at them and says, "Morning boys, how's the water?" And two young fish swim on for a bit, and eventually one of them looks over the other and goes, "What the hell is water?" And we thought this was a really nice way to land this idea of air, which we wanted to comment on something looking back through the Commission and what had come before, and find something that was highly specific but very broad at the same time. And air is this connective tissue that connects us all. It's democratic. It's this the thing that we breathe. We've just been through this period of COVID, which was highly traumatic for a lot of people, and where this thing that is invisible actually is this connective tissue that brings us all together in positive and harmful ways. There's a commission piece of writing that we've just had done for this, where there's a Persian quote that says, "I have your air and you have mine." And I think this was really about trying to make the invisible visible. And so the design of the sphere is that it approximates the volume of air that one human consumes in 1 year, and then the breathing is trying to make that process visible and make us stop and pause and think and reflect on those things. So the conceptual grounding, it actually started as a civic place. So on the left is a radome in New Zealand, which was just a protective shield that goes over a satellite dish to protect it from ice and wind. And we found this and saw that when that dome was de-inflated, it was actually quite beautiful, and this idea of this wrapping and sheeting. And so we've got the lovers from the group, Christo's work that we all know, storefront for art and architecture, with it's wrapped in almost this kind of horror of the panels that we all know moving and pushing in and against it. Sorry, something's gone wrong on that one. It's Neptune's fishbowl, more wrapped trees, Bucky Fuller's biodomes, and then the petite prints, the idea of cloaking things and things hidden inside, and the feelings of what isn't there. So the triennial themes of magic, matter and memory, I won't read through all that, but the proposal had to respond to those. So in magic, we're saying the extraordinaries of the commonplace air, this common act, this thing we share, the thing we do subconsciously that's always happening that we don't think about until it's made real, it's made present, and we actually talk about it, and the idea of breathing and breath and stopping and thinking. Matter being the invitation to reconsider our relationship to it, making it both visible and felt. So when the sphere deflates, it breathes out haptically across the garden. You can feel the air. You can actually kind of become, one with it, engage with it that way. And then the memory part, which in a couple of ways, saying that we've just gone through this period of COVID where, this invisible matter that we spend our lives swimming through, this is air, this is water, actually became this connective tissue in this democratic but completely non-discriminatory way where, we actually are sharing air in the same room, and that became very real. So starting with the conceptual work with the team, landing just some big ideas, testing it through sketches. How would it look? How would it feel? Inflated, deflated, inflated, deflated. How does it move? How does it react to its environs? We thought this kind of activity to it was actually really important, the way that it actually became a kinetic sculpture rather than something static. And then testing it through our renders and visualizations. So again, how it sat in its sort of, in its waiting phase, how it sat in its bold, confident form, how it sat in its kind of deflated, innovative, reactive way, reflexive way, and then how it can become a canvas for other invitations to engage with. Breathing diagram, how it comes in and out. We spent a bit of time working with the cadence. We wanted this to be like a reverie, something that people would come to actually kind of experience in its full 3 states. Temporal and temperamental, the Commission's countenance is determined by its environment, this air made present. So it is entirely reflexive. It's this almost typology-free expression that takes on what's going on with the day, what's going on with the environment, and because it is free of typology, it's also kind of a little bit disconcerting. You don't quite know how to respond to it or respond with it. So we thought that was quite interesting too. Some plans located centre of the garden on the central axis. The diameter of it is actually equal to the diameter of the arch as you come through the main gallery, so it sort of picks up that axis. It's also the same, the void, so the shape of it, the volume of it is the same as the void that's coming with NGVC, so it's in that way, it's a future memory. It's quite detailed diagrams, how it works in elevation, how it's moving, axonometric. So there's two spheres. There's an internal sphere that is that kind of inner shape that you feel the outer sphere press against, but it's also a structural piece that stops it blowing around and becoming dangerous. The kit of parts, how it's located, tree canopy was a major consideration. Development, we got a prototype made, a half-size prototype. So this is the team testing it, how it would inflate and deflate, checking the pipes. Took it out to a warehouse in Port Melbourne. Had some fun with it. Prototype being made, no, sorry, the real one being made in China. That was the last photo we saw. Then we saw it in St Kilda. And then in place. So I'll just quickly rip through these. Deliberate choice to pick something that was non-referential and that sort of sat against the gallery. The gallery, this hard, strong, brutalist, quite geometric form, and then this being another sort of, sat and breathed as a lung in the backyard. Few quite like the synchronicity of that kids day and a fish song, and then all these unexpected ways that the public has interacted with it. That's
the last time we've seen that.
Yeah, it's very cute getting sent these videos. Like, kids always find the way through. They'll find the shortest pathway to joy, and as much as I can sit here and say what I think it's about, kids find it it's about something else. What we mentioned before about it being this invitation or this canvas, I was very clear on saying we didn't want it lit up from inside, didn't want it to feel like an object that was it could be like instrumented, and so we want it to be a canvas that could be projected onto or engaged with as a medium. And a few more of these, and then just the kineticism of it, how it sits and sort of plays quite softly and meditatively in the garden, making the wind sing, again, wind being air moving, and then pitching and rolling in its sort of bold form and fully inflated state. And then even when it's just sitting still, how it acts as kind of a measuring stick against the movement of the atmosphere in the sky and the trees and the surrounding environment. That's time, and we're done.